Well, hello everybody. How are you? I hope that you're having just a lovely, wonderful day and happy Monday and happy October. How is it October? I can't even wrap my head around it. Everything's just happening too fast. So, I hope that you are having a good week, or your week, I should say, you're starting off to a good week. I am I'm doing okay. I had kind of well, eh, I had a good weekend, sort of. I say sort of. We we got a what do you call it? An extension for our taxes because when all of when the taxes were happening, it was like when things were a little crazy with Andy and so long story short, the extension's almost up, so I have to finish my taxes. So I spent a big chunk of the weekend doing that, which is just my least favorite part of owning a business. But I'm going to be grateful that I get to do my taxes, right? Okay. Also, I had a couple little just things pop up this last week, which made it kind of a busy week. But Carl had homecoming on Saturday night, and so like there was about 3 crises about that. Well, not crises, but let's be honest, last minute things. Oh well. But I haven't even posted the pictures yet. I need to post those on Facebook so you can all see them. But he had a lovely time. He said the best part of the night was dinner, which is spoken like a true teenage boy, right? They went to a really good place for dinner, so they had a nice dinner. Actually, I was a little jealous. I kind of wanted to go there, but yeah. And then what else happened? Oh, so Milo, and I won't be posting pictures of this online because I had a bad experience when we did this with Izzy, but Milo had a procedure done. And so he's got the cone of shame, and he is like a bull in a china shop. The cone nor his station in this situation has really kept him from doing anything. We obviously aren't taking him for a walk because of his little procedure. But he's got his cone of shame is just like giving him a wider swath which with to run into stuff. Oh my gosh. Like seriously, I think I'm gonna have bruises on my legs because he like runs into my legs with that cone. Not that it's so hard, but it like the edge cuts into my leg kinda, and seriously. So anyway, that is just kind of a crazy thing that I wasn't totally prepared for. So I I am anxious to give him more of his chill out medicine. He can take it every 12 hours and like he needs it. Like seriously. He really sprung back to life pretty quick after the procedure. I guess it's less invasive than the girl version, but sheesh, if you know what I mean. So anyway, yeah, so kind of a busy week, and then I've got some stuff tonight that I need to do. So, okay, I really need to get some things for Carl and for Andy at the store tonight. So how does he has to have the cone on for 2 weeks, and I just don't see that happening. Like he's really ready to be done. He keeps pawing at it to like get it off, but it's attached to his collar. So Oh, this poor kid. Anyway, so let's see. I'm trying to think what else do we have going on? So he's almost through one. Well, I say almost. He's like just about to 1 week because he had his little procedure on Thursday. So Thursday will be 1 week. So we'll see how he goes. I know we took Izzy's off a little bit early because she was good. She wasn't aggravating things. I don't think Milo has the self-control though. So, but he seems pretty happy-go-lucky despite his current situation. So that's funny. I'm trying to think, was there anything else I needed to tell you? I don't think so. So anyway, so I've got some projects for us to do tonight. I had actually, right before I was live, I had a Stampin' Up! Meeting that I was in, and so I don't know that I'm gonna have quite as much prepared for our live today as I was hoping for. I can tell you for sure we'll do our drawing for the Fun Fold next week, and in part because October came up so fast, but that'll give you a little bit of time to get your entry in. And I've seen all kinds of really fun projects shared. So that's over on my Stamping with the Creativity Cave Facebook group. And there's a link to it in the description of this video. Also, we are going to have a new one next week as well. So we'll do the drawing and then we'll have a new one next week. Let's see. Put him in some kids' onesie pajamas. I'm trying to think, would that really work? I don't know. I'm not sure. So anyway, he's big. I'm trying to think of, like, that would be like a 4T at least. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what size that would be. And I think he'd find a way in, if you know what I mean. So, kids. Anyway, all right. So, a few things coming up. First off, classes are going to be announced tomorrow. Well, I'll tell you what they are today, but the registration is going to open tomorrow. We're going to have our Modern Garden, and do I have that set to show you really quick? Da, 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 da. Modern Garden will be my online class. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. And then Merry and Bright will be my festive class for this weekend or this month. So registration for those come out tomorrow. And then our and then let's see. I was also going to tell you one other thing. Oh, and then I promised an update on my Sunshine and Rainbows group last week. And I didn't get it done, and that's because a couple other things were happening here that I needed to take care of. But I will have that possibly tomorrow, but more likely Wednesday. But it's really fun and exciting, especially if you like to make and send cards. But it's something fun and special that everybody can participate in. So if you haven't already, please join that. Again, link in the description of this video. And then tomorrow starts a really awesome promotion with Stampin' Up! Where you can join Stampin' Up! For either 35% off the cost of the starter kit, or you can add 35% more in products to your starter kit. You can choose whichever version you'd want. So a little bit less money out front or a little bit more product in your kit, either or. And that is, of course, in honor of our 35-year anniversary that we've been celebrating now for a while. And so that's a really awesome opportunity to join. my team, and I would love to have you be a part of our team. I also have, and here's a really good reason to join, I also have an event coming up here in person next month that members of my team can join. So you do have to be a member of my team to come to this event, but it is going to be a really awesome event. It's a weekend and there will be stamping, there will be lots of fun, we'll play games, there will be a shoebox swap, and all kinds of shenanigans will absolutely occur. I'll also have tours of the Creativity Cave. I'll probably need to film the Creativity Cave around that time too, because I think that it's going to be a really great clean environment that won't last very long. So Whitney and Lee and I have been already starting the groundwork for getting things like set up for this little event. I think it's going to be really great. Am I still playing bingo? Like, do I do bingo? I will do it maybe twice a year probably now, and I bet the next one, I'm not 100% sure when I'll do the next one, but I'll keep you posted. I'm waiting on another thing to kind of come together to determine the date of my next one. I doubt I'll do another one yet this year, but probably at the beginning of next year. So yes, I do bingo still. But it's bingo, I know is so fun and exciting and wonderful, but it's an incredible amount of work to do on my end. So yeah, it was always so fun to watch. You know, it was, and you still can watch it. I have the watch option for you, but bingo doesn't just happen. It takes a ton of stuff behind the scenes to make happen. So yeah, it will happen again. So watch for the registration to open. It will be lots of fun for sure, as always. Okay, let's see. So we've got a joining offer coming tomorrow. We've got 2 new classes coming for October, and then an event for my team happening in November that you can attend. That will be so awesome, but you do need to be a member of my team. Anyway, I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll have projects to stamp, we'll have a shoebox swap, we'll have lots of time to get to know each other and have fun and all of the things. So it'll be great. All right. I am going to flip my camera and we are going to get started. Actually, I just covered up all my stuff. There we go. Okay. Ah! I'm trying to get everything organized here, and anyway, here we go. I'm flipping my camera. Okay, I think we're good. Just making sure. There we go. Look at all of this clean space. Now, of course, outside my arms there. Ooh, not clean, but it's all good because you can't see it. Okay, so my first project is going to be with the Autumn Leaves bundle. This is just absolutely one of my very favorite bundles. And of course, leaves are just the best. I love fall. In fact, I've been collecting leaves. They're just starting to turn here. And I've been collecting leaves as we go on walks. Oh, I know. This is what I was going to tell you guys. This is so funny. Sorry, I'm going to flip my camera because it's a good story. It'll be quick, I promise. Okay, so here we go. Sorry for the close-up. So we haven't been walking the dogs since Thursday. Well, Thursday morning, but not Friday or Saturday. So I was like, okay, Andy and I, we need to go for a walk because we walk them for about 40 minutes every day. So we decide, since we don't have the dogs on our walk, to go on a longer walk, just the 2 of us. So I have to put this all into perspective for you because I think you'll find this funny. At least I did, and maybe it's a function of our shape. I don't know. But when you walk with the dogs, you know, you got to stop and go potty several times. With two, it's like triple the number of times between the false alarms and the actual going. And then you have to stop and smell things. If there's another dog, you have to stop and freak out about it. If there are people that are too friendly looking, you have to stop and say hello. So, I mean, it's a whole thing to go for a walk with dogs, right? So Andy and I are on our walk on Sunday by ourselves, just the two of us. And we're like, yeah, let's go a little further. So we went this whole long circle, and it's just over 5K. So 5K is 3.2 miles, and our walk was 3.4 miles. Now, I need you to know that my son can run a 5K in less than 16 minutes. It's 15 and change is his time, which is pretty good, by the way. And I can walk a 5K in just under an hour. So we went, and it was like 50 some minutes, like 55 minutes was, well, I think the whole time we were gone was 55 minutes, and that was 3.4 miles. So I'm laughing because he can run a 5K in bigger hills and on uneven terrain much faster than we can walk a 5K with no dogs. And it was a little hilly, I will say, because there were a couple of hills that were like, there was one at the end that I'm like, oh my gosh, are we there yet? And I like to think I'm in like halfway decent shape because I run around his meets to catch him running, and you know, and we walk every day. So I think that's funny. I wasn't enjoying the scenery really either. I mean, anyway, so that was us walking. I know I'm not 18 anymore, but I'm not like dying. I'm in decent shape. All right. Also, it was hot. It was like 88 degrees, which is pretty unseasonably warm. It's not typically that warm this time of year. And so we were also kind of hot and sweaty. But anyway, okay, that's all I had to tell you. I'm going to flip my camera back. We're going to make our autumn card. Okay, so here we are. Fall is in the air, except this weekend it was pretty warm here. So autumn leaves. I love this bundle. And of course, one of my favorite parts about the bundle are the dies, as is the case with so many bundles. I love the leaves. I love the both the solid and the small solids. And then I say solid because like this cuts out the stamps. And then I really love these beautiful frames that they put in with the pretty borders and everything. So I wanted to make a card with that. So we're going to start with a thick, very vanilla card base. And, you know, I often get asked to make cards with vanilla. So I feel like I've been doing a lot of vanilla cards lately. Vanilla is so perfect for fall, you know, it really just is. Okay, so we've got our beautiful vanilla card base, and I wanted to do kind of a creative color combination. So I'm going to use Petal Pink, Calypso Coral, and Cajun Craze. Now, these are probably not exactly stereotypical fall colors. For sure, these two you will see shades of throughout the fall, but Petal Pink, not so much, right? It's not very fallish, but I think it goes really nicely with these colors, and I love having kind of different colors. Okay, so I die cut that fatter frame, and one of the sentiments in here is autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. And, you know, that's a really nice sentiment, but I don't know, are we really sending that to somebody? Like, are you sending that to someone? And I'm just being real here. Like, who am I sending a card to that says that? I don't know. I don't like that sentiment that much. And I don't like to really bag on things like that. it's just not me. Like, I just don't know who I'm sending a card to that says that. So I'm going to pull something out of another set, which is So Sincere. And I think this is a really nice set with some really wonderful sentiments. I love the You're in My Heart and Prayers. I think that's such a great sentiment. I also love Hope Your Day is a Happy One. And both of those will fit in here amongst some of the others as well. But I wanted to just show that set. So I think I'm going to do You're in My Heart and Prayers, because that's always a nice card to have on hand. And of course, during the fall, especially, or not especially, but just to have like a fall themed version of this card, right? Or this sentiment. Okay. Oh, do you ever find spare dimensionals in inopportune places? I totally do. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my sentiment in Cajun Craze ink in the center of this little label. Okay, and then also, because I just can't get enough of it, we're going to use the Distressed Tiles embossing folder. Love this one, you guys. It's just my absolute fave. Okay, so there we go. All right, next up, I'm going to take and put a couple of dimensionals right in the center, and we're going to put this in the middle. All right. And I put those dimensionals in the center because I want to tuck leaves in all around here. Okay. So before I went live, I actually arranged these so that they were kind of all ready to go. And so I'm just going to kind of start tucking these in. And I love doing this because it just makes it so much easier to make your card look so nice. But I wanted to add one extra little touch, and that is this this glimmer paper. So you've seen me use this. I've been using it quite a bit. I'm just going to cut a little 1/2-inch strip here, and I want to punch the ends of this with my banner punch. Okay, so I'm just gonna punch one there and punch one here. Okay, oops, that was pretty crooked. So let's try that once more. There we go. Okay, then I'm just gonna take and snip this in half, and then I'm gonna tuck these halves in. Okay, but I'm not going to actually adhere them quite yet because I want to put my leaves in first. But I just wanted you to know those were going there because they're super pretty. And everybody loves a little shimmer, right? Okay, so now I'm going to pop this out, and I'm going to start building my leaves around. And you can see I like to curl the leaves just a little bit. And I'm going to say that I'm just going to kind of set the leaves in because as I'm putting them all back in here, you know, I might need to adjust things. And I like to leave my options open. Let's just be honest here. So we'll tuck these in. And I'm basically going by color. But I'm also trying to balance the color out with the shape of the leaf. So for instance, this is a really big splash of color. This is a small splash of that color. So we'll just kind of adjust as we go, and it won't be 100% even, but pretty close. Okay. And then I'll put that one in. And I do have a few extra leaves waiting in the wings should I need them. I also considered doing on here vellum leaves, and I ultimately didn't, but I didn't I was a little concerned about how busy this card would get, you know. So anyway, lovely to have you all here. I just saw somebody said hi, but I didn't, their comment went by too quick. But lovely to have you all here. Thank you guys so much for coming to watch some stamping awesomeness. Okay, and then our last little leaf will go right here. Okay. So there we go. And I am liking the look of all of these leaves. So I'm going to press them all down and commit to them. And then we're going to tuck in these little banners that we did. And we might need to cut a little more off. I'm not positive yet. But there we go. Okay, oops. Yeah, I'm going to cut off a little bit more just because I don't want it to stick way out. Just a little bit. So pretty. Okay. And again, this is that paper that's part of the online exclusives, and it is a while supplies last situation, but it's adhesive backed, which, I mean, let's be honest, that's amazing. And will be even with how much is sticking out on either side. Of course, by even, I mean, I'm going to eyeball it, but there we go. All right. So isn't that just lovely? So pretty. So, so pretty. Now I want to add a little extra something to this. So I think, well, I was either going to use this. This is the gold ribbon in our gold and silver ribbon, or we could do some linen thread. And I actually think I like the linen thread a little better. The reason is because I want that gold to stand out. I don't want it to be competing with the other gold ribbon. You know what I mean? I want that gold glimmer paper to stand out and not be in competition with some ribbon. So I'm going to do a double length of my linen thread. And then we'll just add this to our card here. So pretty. Oh my goodness, I love that. And I'll just glue dot that on. And here we have just a beautiful card. Now, I know many of you comment that you love it when I put something on the inside of our card. So we're going to do that. And to do that, I thought, what if we take a little piece of vanilla? As you can see, I've always got these scraps left over from when I trim out my cards. Okay, so I'm going to take this and we're going to stamp our stamps on here to coordinate on this strip, and then we can glue that strip into our card. Okay, so just like what we've done on the outside of our card, we're going to use those 3 colors. Okay, so I've got my petal pink, I've got my Calypso Coral, and of course my Cajun Craze. Now, to make this as even as possible, I'm going to do my darkest color last so that it doesn't overtake everything. And I'll start with my lightest color and have that be the biggest image, because we can always kind of go over. Okay, so there's my one big leaf, 2 big leaves. Then I'll take this one and we'll do Calypso Coral. Okay. And we're gonna kind of go over like so. Ooh, my pad is really juicy, but it's okay because it's just a little bit, so it won't matter. And then with our Cajun, we're just gonna put a little bit on there because we want to be able to see the other leaves nicely. Okay, so I put one more, like that. There we go. Okay, so I love this. Now I'm going to trim this to be 4 inches. And then we'll put this on the inside of our card to coordinate. Okay. Now, one thing that about this sentiment set, So Sincere, that I'm using, is they kind of have innie and outie sentiments, meaning there's something for the outside of your card, and then you can also add the inside of your card. Now, it kind of depends on what you're wanting this card for. So, for instance, you're in my heart and prayers, hope you're feeling better soon. That would work. Another could be just knowing you brings joy to my heart. That maybe is not quite right. So thankful for you could work on the inside. Your kindness is so appreciated, sort of. Hope your day is a happy one. Maybe hope you're feeling better soon, I think, is probably the best one, but it really just depends on what you need. So I probably will leave it blank. A simple thinking of you might be just, what you need as well. But there it is. So really pretty. Now, you can totally make this card with all kinds of different colors. So that's super fun. Yeah. Let's see. The bundle is available. Yes, absolutely. And the DSP and speckled dots are not in stock. That is correct. They are scheduled, I think both of them are scheduled to be back in October, but I'd have to check to be positive. So there you go. Okay, but let's talk about some other color combinations that would be really nice to make this card in, that maybe are a little more traditional, or not necessarily traditional, but just different color combinations. Okay, so I was thinking Pretty Peacock, Old Olive, and Pool Party would be 3 wonderful colors that you could do this card in. Another would be like your traditional fall colors, which might be Pumpkin Pie, Crushed Curry, and Cajun Craze. Or you could sub in and out for one of these colors, Cherry Cobbler, or just add it to it. Or you could also add or subtract Blackberry Bliss to this. Okay, so that's another color combo. Another kind of alternative color combo that I really like would be Berry Burst, Lost Lagoon, and Cajun Craze. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4 color combinations that you could do this card in, and each one of them would be just stunning. I would still stick with the same background of very vanilla for all these color combinations. That'll look lovely. But how much fun is it that you could do any of those color combinations? By the way, if you really want to get wild, like really wild, you could throw wild wheat into the mix, and that would be amazing. This is like the best color. You can fight me for it. I will come to the aid of wild wheat any day of the week. So yeah, really beautiful, easy color, or easy color combo to do, or easy layout to do with lots of different color combos. Okay, so there you go. Thank you, Kayla. I knew you'd see it my way. I knew you could see the potential in this color. I know a lot of people are skeptical, maybe we'll say. Okay, now that I took all these ink pads out, I gotta put them all back. But lots of fun options, thinking a little bit outside of the box with colors, which is always a fun thing to do. Okay, next up, we're gonna do a really fun card for Halloween that does not actually have any Halloween stamps. In fact, it's really gonna have, I'm gonna actually use the merriest trees to make a Halloween card. So you're probably like, what did she say she was gonna do? But stick with me. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, so first off, Merriest Trees is a lovely stamp set. You can do all kinds of wonderful things with it. And I think somebody actually requested it. They probably didn't know I was going to make a Halloween card. By the way, my favorite part of this is this die. By the way, this tag is amazing. But I digress. Let's get back to the stamp set. So in this stamp set, there are 2 stamps that I love. And we're going to use both of them on this card that you probably wouldn't really think of as being a Halloween set, but here we are making it happen. Okay, so there's the little twinkles stamp, as I like to call it, and then there's a star. So what I wanted to do, and this is in the style of one of my stamping heroes, and that is, her name is Jenny Polly. She's from, I think her business name is Pauline's Paperie. She's a German demonstrator, and she, her $1 million stamp set came out just about a year ago, and it was called Warm Welcome. It was the one with the door. Well, I love that set, and she does lots of things in rainbows. We're not going to do a rainbow, but we're going to do some kind of Halloween colors. So I'm going to pull out some Lemon Lime Twist, some Granny Apple Green, some Berry Burst, some Smoky Slate. Say, I'm really challenging you on colors here today, or at least I'm trying to. A little bit of Highland Heather, or should we just go full Gorgeous Grape? Full Gorgeous Grape probably is a little better. And then some black. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create kind of a fun little background with these colors. Okay. And so I think I'm going to start with my lightest color first, because you can always add more, but it's really hard to take away. Now I'm going to create kind of just a fun background, and I'm going to stamp this in triangles. Okay, so with every new color, we're going to just stamp in a triangle, and that will give us kind of an evenly distributed random pattern. Do you like my air quotes on that? It will give you a random pattern that is nicely distributed. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. Okay, so again, I'm just building triangles on here. Triangle in my stamped images. All right, next up, I'm going to do some basic gray. So, or this is Smoky Slate. Sorry, not basic gray. Smoky Slate triangle. All right, and then I'm going to do some Gorgeous Grape. Okay, and then I'll try and even everything out with my Berry Burst. There we go. Okay, not bad. It's a little centered here, but that's okay. Now we're going to even all of that out with our little twinkle stamp. Okay, and so we're going to stamp these little twinkles again in triangles. So there's a triangle. Here comes another triangle, doom, doom, and then the other third point is going to be over here. And then I'm just going to kind of triangulate what's already existing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I've got kind of a fun background, and then I might just fill in a couple spots. Like that. Well, that created its own triangle. There we go. Okay, so this is just kind of a fun little background. Okay, now I also wanted to take from the Tricks and Treats stamp set, or bundle, sorry, there is a little ghost. Okay, and so I wanted to take and add a ghost to this. And I think I was going to do it in vellum, but maybe I'm going to do it in white and vellum. Okay. because I think the vellum will give it kind of a ghosty appearance, and then the white will make it stand out from the card and allow us to attach it to the card. So let me die cut these two together real quick. Okay, I always like this guy because he's like Casper the Friendly Ghost, right? All right, so here we have him, and like I said, I'm going to attach him, and here's how I'm going to do it. So when you attach vellum to white cardstock, the adhesive does not show through. So I'm going to put just a little bit of seal at the very top. Okay, and then I could even, no, he looks a little crazy if we offset him, but then I'm going to curl him up so that he's got a little dimension. So just the vellum part I curled a little bit for dimensional purposes. Okay, now what we're going to do is I've die cut the letters from our alphabet set. What is this called? Alphabet a la mode. I've die cut Boo to U. Okay, so we are going to put those letters on here. B-O-O. And then we're going to replace either the O in to, or probably more likely the O in U. Y-O-U with our ghost. But I can't decide which. So, Boo to. I'm feeling like two. Boo to you. Does that make sense? If the ghost is the O, do we understand that that's what we're trying to say? Boo to you. Tell me, let me know in the comments. What do you think? Does that make sense? Cheryl says yes. Excellent. You can't see the ghost. Well, you can. If I tip it, it'll probably be more obvious. Okay, so we're good. We're good. Okay. All right. So I'm going to attach these letters with some liquid glue. Okay. By the way, you're gonna laugh. I tried die cutting the letters like in these various colors, and I couldn't get a color scheme that I liked. I couldn't get the order right, and then I just was like, oh, do it all in black. So I thought you guys might find that funny. I was gonna do all the background in one color, but then I realized that it would be easier to do the background in various colors. Okay, so we're gonna put the letters on here. Now, one thing that I think is really helpful to get letters on straight is to have a ruler aid you in the process. So I just have this little ruler. And I'm gonna kind of stick it down. Oops, as I just moved the whole thing. I'm gonna stick it down on my card like this so that it doesn't move. Because as you can see, that's kind of my downfall, is bumping stuff. But this way, if my letter is touching the bottom, then it'll be nice and straight going across. Now you can also use a T-square, which I have, but like I said, I bump it and then it's not good. So this is holding the whole card is literally getting held together by 2 Post-it notes and this goofy little ruler that I have. It's really thin. So Boo. Now, while we're sitting here chatting, does anybody have any good Netflix recs or TV show recs that you've been watching? I watched a video this weekend, and this is funny, on Netflix, a movie. It's a Nicholas Sparks one. It's called The Choice. And you know how Nicholas Sparks movies work, right? You know, there's always a tragic twist in the movie. And so my husband comes up, and this is as I'm trying to stay awake till Carl gets home for homecoming, which by the way I did not make. But he comes in, and I was trying to watercolor, but it wasn't going very well. And he's like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "What are you watching?" And I go, "A movie, a chick flick," because he always teases me when I cry at movies. And it was The Choice movie, and I think it's new, but I'm not sure if it's new to me anyway. It was really good. But in true Nicholas Sparks form, there's always like a whole thing. But if there's anything else you have, of course, I haven't quite finished my Virgin River, the current season yet. I've been holding out on that one. I have to really pay attention to that one, or I want to pay attention. So I can't always do it, you know, in the background of whatever I'm working on. Okay, so Boo to You, and then I'm going to pop up my ghost so it's a teeny bit more prominent on here. I'm going to put one mini dimensional under his forehead because I can. Okay. Boo to You. All right, now we're going to trim this down just a bit and layer it up, okay? So this is a, oh, it's 5.5. Ooh. Well, maybe, well, let's see. We'll trim it just a little. So this will be 5.25, barely. But I'm going to trim it down a bit more. Like this. To 3.25. There we go. Now, do you get the Boo to You a little better now? Okay, now the real question is, what color do we mount this on? Also, I kind of meant to use an orange on here, but never did. Oh, let me grab my black. So I'm thinking we'll put it on a a smoky slate card base. Like that. And then black going all the way across. And we'll make this 3.5 inches. I think that will be the right dimension. Oh no. Well, that'll work. Well, no, I want this a little smaller. Okay, so let's try this again. Was this 3.5 to start with? No, it was 3.25. So I need to actually cut this at 3.5 inches. That's what it is. Silly me. Okay, now it's a nice border. There we go. Boo to You. All right, and then put that on our card. Like this. Isn't that fun? Okay, now to embellish. I'm going to take some of these little iridescent discs because they're in some of the colors we're using on here, and I think they're really fun. Plus, they're also available in the online store, so you gotta like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop a few of these on here, and once again, I'm gonna put them on kind of in triangles. So I've got kind of the green color, and then I'm gonna put on the Berry Burst color. I'm not really doing a very good job of this, so we're probably going to put some extras on here from what we need, but that's okay. And this is just fun, if I can just say. Maybe one more green. Who am I kidding? Two more greens? I don't know. Actually, I'm going to take this green one off right there and throw it up here, and then put this one as a Berry Burst. Woo! There we go. So super fun. And then on the inside, we can put a panel of white. And then we can do trick or treat, or even just a little eek, but I think trick or treat is probably good. And then we can add a few of those little sparkle discs on here as well. Okay, I'll do the trick or treat in black. Like so. Okay, so we'll just put, because these, I love these because they're just so flat, so they'll just kind of go wherever. Trick or treat. Isn't that cute? Okay. Now my final card is going to be really pretty and a big change of pace. So we've got fall, autumn, we've got Halloween, and then our next card is going to be Christmas. Now for this, I am going to use, I thought I pulled it out, but maybe I didn't. Oh yes, here it is. I'm going to be using the Wishes All Around. I gotta get rid of these ink pads first though. So Wishes All Around is a really wonderful Christmas set, and I think one thing, if you didn't look at this very closely, I might just share with you how awesome this set is because of the dies. And you might not appreciate the dies right away, but there is a wreath that cuts snowflakes, there's a wreath that cuts kind of mistletoe-y greenery, and then there's a wreath that cuts out this tree image. It cuts out the trees, but connects them all, so not individually. There are individual trees, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so the dies are really wonderful on this particular stamp set. Now, let me grab my cardstock. So we're going to start with a card base that is Cherry Cobbler. So we're going to go traditional. We've been kind of bucking tradition here for a few cards, but we're going to go with traditional. I've also taken and die cut the musical notes, okay, out of some vanilla, and you're going to ask me for the dimensions, so let me quick give them to you. This is a 3 3/4 by 5, and then this is a 3 7/8 by 5 and an 1/8 inch old olive layer. So let's put those two together. Like that. So pretty. Okay, I am going to attach this to my card. Like that. Okay, and then of course we'll put a vanilla panel on the inside. of this as well. Oops, oh, I just finished off my roll. Here we go. Don't worry, I've always got to back up. All right, so there is the base of our card. That's easy peasy. Now what I want to do is take that tree stamp image, which I just love, and we're going to stamp this onto a scrap of vanilla. And then sorry, I'm digging out my embossing powder. Oh, it was at the bottom. Ugh. Okay. So I'm going to take and stamp this onto, like I said, some vanilla cardstock. So I've got a scrap right here, and I want to emboss it with clear powder. Okay, so we'll ink this up real good. And I guess I should drop the embossing buddy on here. Okay, then we're going to continue to inking this up really good. And then I'm going to stamp that on here like so, giving it some good pressure all around. Okay, there we go. Now we'll put this through our powder. Like that. Okay, and then we're going to heat emboss with our heat tool to melt the powder. This is where I fell in love with stamping, was heat embossing. So wonderful. Oh. Gotta make sure it's all melted. Otherwise, this next step will be bad. Okay, so everything is melted. Now what we're gonna do is take and do a little ink blending on top. Okay, so I've got my designated green brush, and I'm going to take some Old Olive ink, and I'm going to start coloring this in. And I kind of want it to be darkest on the outside and then kind of lighter as we get towards the center. Okay, so I'll go around this way, and as you can see, the embossing resists, and you have those beautiful trees pop through, which is just wonderful. Okay, then what I recommend doing is taking a tissue, and I think I might be dumpster diving for a tissue. This is actually a dry wet wipe, but it's dry. And then I'm just gonna go over the embossing to get the extra ink off. Okay, so there's that. So it didn't take a ton of ink off, but just really make those trees kind of stand out. Okay, then what I want to do is die cut this with the deckled circle dies. And you can see we can get pretty close. This is the This is literally like the dead center one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the 7th smallest. Okay, I think, oh, Donna had a question. Will a hair dryer get hot enough? No, it won't. A heat tool is way hotter than a hair dryer. You wouldn't want to dry your hair with a heat tool because, whew, you'd literally burn your scalp right off. And that is not sticking at all, probably because the ink is still wet. But I'm going to run this through the die cut machine real quick. It just doesn't get hot enough, and it also blows too hard. Now, back in the olden days of stamping, before heat tools were like a thing, you could actually, or I shouldn't say you could, people would heat things over like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like over their stove. You know, sometimes catching the paper on fire. Or they would hold it over a toaster, and the toaster, they would try to get to melt it. A heat tool is worth the investment. It's not that much. And, you know, you can do so many things with it. So sometimes my husband uses mine actually in his workshop for, you know, manly stuff. Okay, so now I have this beautiful ring that I'm going to put onto my card, my ring of trees. So I'm going to pop that up with some dimensionals. Like so, over those musical notes that we embossed, or on here, because it's just so pretty. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Okay, then I've got this strip, and I think this is going to be big enough. In our stamp set, we have this gorgeous Christmas greetings sentiment. Okay. And I believe, yes, that will fit. So we'll take and stamp that with some cherry cobbler ink to match our cherry cobbler card base. And I'm going to just, well, center that on there like so. Ooh, I didn't stamp the Christmas very nicely. Let's try that one more time. Luckily, there are 2 sides to every sheet of cardstock. Thank goodness. Oh, much better. It was worth the extra effort. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly trim the end of that, and then I'm going to take my banners Pick-a-Punch, and I'll just punch the banners on here, or the ends, you know, with the banner punch. You know what I mean, even though I'm not saying it very well. Okay, that looks pretty nicely centered to me. Oh, now that's pretty, right? But we can make it so much better. All right, so I'm going to actually pop this up on here. And I'm going to do that by doing dimensionals kind of on the opposite corners. Then I will take some of my, this is vanilla satin edged ribbon. It's got a little gold line through it. It's so pretty. By the way, you can color this all sorts of colors with your Stampin' Blends, and it'll be just stunning. And I'm just going to do a little zigzag loop of ribbon on here to add just a lovely little shimmer to our card. Just even that out, and hopefully this is dry enough, yes, that my adhesive will stick to it. Sometimes if the ink is still wet, the adhesive doesn't really want to stick to that, just as an FYI. All right, then I'm going to flip that around and place it on here like so. But wait, there's more. Of course, we can add to this. And what I like to use are these pastel adhesive backed sequins. You could also use, there's gold adhesive or sequins in the set that's all metallics, you know, like copper, etc. Either package will do, but this one I had handy. So I'm just going to pull out and add to this a couple of these dots to just add that extra little touch. So pretty. Okay, then our sentiment, or our stamp set also has any sentiments, which I love, especially for Christmas cards. So we are going to add one of those. I thought I pulled one out, but I guess I did not. And there's a couple of choices for that in this set. No, I did pull it out. What did I do with it? Maybe it's because I have such a ginormous mess on my desk. I can't find it. Here we go. So this one says, sending wishes for a wonderful and joyous season, which is just such a nice sentiment, I think. You know, who wouldn't wish that to someone? Okay. And so I'm just going to stamp that on the inside. Now you could add all sorts of things to this, but I'm going to add just one of those single trees on here. I forgot to pull that one out too. Because I think the single tree is just so nice to go on the inside of this card. And of course we'll stamp that in Old Olive. And I'm just going to put it right next to my little saying. And then I can actually put, because I'm pretty clever like this, a little one of these dots on top of that tree. Oh, so cute. So isn't that beautiful? This would be quite an easy card to do in quantity because I did this for a swap. I made a bunch of these. So I set the stamp actually up on my Stamparatus, which I know we don't have anymore, but I know many of you have that. And then I stamped them all, put the powder on, then I heated all of them, boom, 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 and then just did everything like an assembly line. And I made 24 of these really quickly. So super cute card to create for the holidays. All right, well, those are my projects for today. I hope you loved them. I've got hungry boys upstairs I need to go feed. And, well, and by hungry boys, I, of course, would be including my dog, although I think he's probably eaten because he knows when it's 6 o'clock on the dot. And it's 6:08. I'm pretty sure he's wasted away to nothing if he hasn't eaten yet. But I hope you loved my projects today. Of course, if you could give me the thumbs up, that would be so wonderful. It really helps with the YouTube. They love it when you like my videos. And if you have any questions about these, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you later this week for another Friday Fun video. Have a great week, friends. Bye-bye.